you've been doing your makeup a certain way, you can get into kind of what I call a makeup rut. And it's nice to be able to have things like the internet so that you can see different perspectives of how people do their makeup. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new here, and welcome back if you're returning. So today's video, I wanted to try out how Jackie Aina does her makeup. I wanted to follow a tutorial to see what's different in her routine versus how I do my makeup. So let's jump right into the video and I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. Overall, jumping right in, I color corrected, and after I color corrected, I set it with Dark Deep, a translucent powder. So this was a suggestion from Jackie, and she also said that when she's looking for like really long wearing makeup, she does underpainting. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm using a bit of my Juvia's Place bronzer, so I'm going around, you know, my temples and, you know, my cheekbones just to highlight those. And then I'm going in with concealer, so I'm using the Lancôme Teint Idole concealer. Then I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape, and then I'm using my my Haus Labs concealer. I couldn't think of it. My Haus Labs concealer, I'm using that. So I used a combination of all three, which I typically don't do. I typically stick to one, maybe two concealers, but I was curious, and I know that my Haus Labs concealer is a tad bit lighter than my other concealers. So that's what she suggested. She used the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and she used them in like a really light shade and kind of like more of her concealer tone. And then the fan to help dry that concealer down, because you know when it sets, it gives you more coverage. So this step, spraying my foundation with the One Size on Till Dawn. Let me tell you, I know my skin was a little bit irritated. I did a peel, and so it was in the midst of peeling at that point, and it was a little bit irritated, but putting this on, I'm like, woo, this is different than when you spray it on your face. And you know when you spray it on your face, you have to take a minute to go to breathe, but this was different. So then she next suggests using just what you have left over to, you know, put foundation and the powder on your nose. Don't put a lot of product on your nose. Then she used the Powder Melt by One Size, but I didn't have that, so I used my Charlotte Tilbury spray. Then I went in with my One Size spray to go ahead and set my makeup for the first setting series, and then going in with some translucent powder when she says about 90% dry, and starting to set my under eye. So that's what you see me doing here. Not really baking yet, but just setting in, you know, everywhere where I place that concealer. So that's what I'm doing, just really taking my time to get all the crevices and stuff. Now we move on to a baby bake. Like a baby bake, not a whole lot, but just enough, because again, we're looking for long wearability, and we want to ensure that, you know, our makeup lasts and it looks good for a while. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going in, I am using the One Size powder, but I'm using it in the pink shade, and then I'm going in with blush. You know I'm a blush girly. I love me some blush, so I'm just blushing up my cheeks right here. And I was just thinking like, okay, it's coming together. It's coming together. One thing about, you know, just waiting to apply your foundation during your underpainting, she said she doesn't go past like the bottom of her nostrils, and then, you know, with like heavily applying foundation, and the rest just gets a thin veil over just to melt everything together. And also she suggested using a powder puff to do your finishing powder. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm using my powder puff, and then I spray, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts. I really love how it does still look like skin. I think adding in the light reflecting foundation mixing with my soft matte really gave me a different look, and so far so good. I really like it. I can't say that there's anything that I'm like, no, I'm not doing that in my routine. I did switch out a couple of my products. The only product that I did go and pick up was the translucent deep powder because I couldn't find my other one. I think I've used it all, but everything else, I just used what was already in my kit. I didn't pick up anything else, and I can say that, like, overall, I think it looks good. It still looks, you know, seamless. It still looks clean, and that's one thing that's really big with makeup for me, that it looks clean, it looks polished. It doesn't look like it was hurriedly applied, even if it was, because sometimes, let's be honest, our best looks come when we are like trying to get out the door. But hopefully you found this video helpful, hopefully you found this video fun, and hopefully you are subscribing. I upload on Tuesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. so make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell. It does help out my channel. It helps get my videos out to more viewers, and we are trying to grow with the family. We're really close to 300 subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.